Wrapping up here in Windy City, heading on a bus tonight over out to Lake Erie to face the Crushers for a three-game series, the last three games of the Frontier League season. Going to start with tonight's lineup for the home team, Windy City Thunderbolts. Leading off, second baseman Tim Zier. Batting second, left fielder Coco Johnson. Behind the plate is the catcher hitting third, Corey Bass. Designated hitter tonight hitting the four-hole, Kyle Wood. Shortstop hitting fifth, Ranson Lalonde. Johnny Ironman will be hitting sixth, playing center field. The right fielder hitting seventh, Cody Kiefer. Playing at first base, Larry Bockwell. And rounding out for Windy City, third baseman Blair Beck. Windy City tonight will be starting their ace, right-handed, pitcher Clay Chapman. The lineup for your Washington Wild Things tonight. Leading it off, playing left field, Andrew Heck. Batting second, center fielder, Chris Grayson. Hitting third baseman, Ricky Rodriguez. In the four-hole tonight, right fielder, David Popkins. Jimmy Yezzo hitting fifth, playing first. Grant Fink playing second. Designated hitter tonight, hitting seventh, Justin Garcia. Behind the dish, Kyle Pollock. Rounding up your Wild Things lineup, shortstop number 8, Austin Wobrock. Your Wild Things tonight will be wheeling out left-handed pitcher, Brandon Bixler. This will be Bixler's third appearance on the year, second start. We'll take a quick break for the national anthem. Give you some quick notes on both starting pitchers. Thanks for joining us for this MSA broadcast. And we're back here on this MSA broadcast of your Washington Wild Things 2016 season. Game 3, Washington Wild Things versus the Windy City Thunderbolts. Quick notes on the Windy City starter tonight. Right-hander Clay Chapman. Currently 8-7 record on the year, 3.53 ERA. In his 117 innings of work, Chapman has struck out 86, limiting batters to a .237 batting average against. Chapman, largely the ace for the Windy City Thunderbolts, shouldering, the only pitcher shouldering over 100 innings on roster for Windy City. So Washington's in for a nice little challenge here for Game 3, facing Windy City's best statistical starter. Very important Game 3 for your Wild Things. Necessary to take this series and try to take that momentum into Lake Erie for a hopeful potential sweep. Wild Things currently sit one game under 500 on the year. 4 games remaining on the schedule. Best we can currently finish is 3 games over. Wild Things will start top of the first inning with leadoff hitter number 7, Andrew Heck. number 3 center fielder Chris Grayson, followed by number 31 Ricky Rodriguez. Heck, Grayson, Rodriguez, Popkins, Yezo, those guys relied on very heavily, day in, day out, hitting in the top half of the lineup throughout the year. Statistically, your strongest guys in terms of batting average, home runs, RBIs, extra base hits. Anything really provided by 6 through 9 is just gravy at this point, largely. Here we go for the first pitch of the game. Clay Chapman, number 15, versus Andrew Heck. First pitch of the ball game right here. First pitch fastball down in the zone. Chapman, 80 miles an hour. The 1-0 on the way. Swing foul along the third base slide for Heck. Chapman very strong against righties. Fastball, breaking ball combination. His strength. See if Wild Things can attack Chapman early. Put some doubt in Windy City's mind. The 1-1 down in the zone. The 2-1 on the way. Fastball fouled along the third base side by Heck. Windy City's outfield playing relatively shallow, especially center fielder Johnny Ironman. Tough day in batting practice in terms of the wind and balls not being able to fly too well here. Outfielders across the board playing pretty shallow. Threatening challenging hitters to put it over their head. 2-2. Fastball inside, misses. It's going to pull the count full. Swing. And we got a ball for it. Fastball up and in. Heck held off on the check. Avoided it. Avoiding that one on the upper shoulder. It's going to allow your Wild Things to reach their first man of the ball game. It's going to bring up center fielder number 3, Chris Grayson. One man on, nobody out. Chris Grayson, 278 on the season, 4 home runs for your Wild Things. First pitch driven out the right field line. Ball hangs up at the warning track. Wow, Chris Grayson thought he had it. A little bat flip there. That's where, and you see Chris Grayson hand on his hips. A little frustrated that ball wasn't able to get out of here. That's what Standard Bank Stadiums has looked like all series. Ball's having a very hard time getting out. There was a solo shot by Austin Wobrock, game 1. Kyle Wood, game 2, got a ball out. Chris Grayson throwing up his hands in the dugout, frustrated, not able to get that ball out. Got all of it, though. Ricky Rodriguez at the plate. First pitch fastball down in the zone. Little surprised Cody Kiefer was able to track that ball down with how shallow he was playing, and his reaction to the ball in the air turned immediately like he had no shot. Breaking pitch outside. Count goes 2-0. To 3-hole hitter Ricky Rodriguez playing third base once again today. Ground ball. Third base, Blair Beck flips it on the second. Turned over to first. Double play. 5-4-3. Wild Things, no hits, no runs, nobody left on. Going to be entering the bottom of the first. Paint the picture for Brandon Bixler on the mound. Thanks for joining us for this MSA production. And we're back, bottom of the first inning. Your Washington Wild Things versus the Windy City Thunderbolts here in Crestwood, Illinois. Starter tonight for your Washington Wild Things left-hander, Brandon Bixler. This will be Bixler's second start of the season, third appearance on the year. Currently sits with a 1-1 record. 7 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 12 hits allowed. Bixler, originally Minnesota Twins product. Spent a handful of seasons there. Past 2 years has been in the Atlantic League, Bridgeport Bluefish, and most recently the Lancaster Barnstormers. Bixler was a late addition to your Wild Things roster following the signing of right-handed pitcher Zach Grotz to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wild Things top of the first. Threatened after a full count walk by Andrew Heck. Chris Grayson put a absolute charge into a ball to the right field line, right center, just to the right of the scoreboard. Ball died on the track. Cody Kiefer able to track it down for out number 1, followed by Ricky Rodriguez 5-4-3 double play. With the way the ball's traveling tonight, it might be a game where if you can single the team to death or get a couple walks and manufacture some runs, it's going to be very hard to have a bunch of home runs or to rely on a lot of extra base hits to carry you throughout this game 3. Leading off for Windy City is going to be second baseman Tim Zier. Bixler pitch on the way. Fastball. Strike 1. Bixler, quick working lefty on the mound. Fastball, grounded over to Grant Fink at second. Along the Yezo to first. We got out number 1. Bixler, fastball, changeup, slider, curveball guy. The fastball, changeup, curveball was his priority pitches. Curveball is his strikeout pitch, but he can get it going. 68 degrees here at Crestwood, Illinois. Relatively chilly compared to the humidity that we had in Washington for the final homestand of the season. First pitch fastball to left fielder number 2, Coco Johnson, up from the normal 3 spot in the lineup to face the lefty in the 2-hole today. Fastball inside. Misses. Evens count 1-1. Bixler has his pitch. On the way. Line drive, left center gap. Chris Grayson, long run. Ball's going to drop. 1 hop the fence. Coco Johnson cruising in the second for a 1-out double. Long run for Grayson. No chance on that ball. 1 hopping the left center field wall. It's going to bring up the catcher, number 33, Corey Bass. Checks Johnson at second. Comes set. Paul popped up. Andrew Heck, left field, has it measured. Coco tagging at second, not going to test the arm of Heck as he 1-hops it into third for out number 2. Bixler makes quick work of the catcher there, Corey Bass. He's going to bring up the designated hitter hitting fourth, Kyle Wood. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Wood last night solo shot home run against the Wild Things starter Matt Frodden to put Windy City on the board 1-0. Bixler comes set, checks Johnson at second. Fastball in on the hands, fouled along the third base line. Strike 1 for against Wood. Bixler going through the signs with Pollock, comes set. Coco Johnson off the third. Fastball in the dirt. It's going to be ball one, Throw over to third. Not in time. Ricky Rodriguez on the scoop. Held it there because Coco Johnson was close to sliding off the bag. Didn't want to call him safe too soon. As Mike Martin also delayed to make the call there. You have 1-1, 2 outs. Designated hitter, Kyle Wood. Bixler on the way. Ball popped up. Behind home plate, gonna get out of the stadium. Kyle Pollock turns, takes a look, realizes he doesn't have much room. As noted previously, Standard Bank Stadium, very tight venue, not much room for foul balls, period, whether it's behind the plate or down the lines. It's gonna bring the count 1-2, 2 outs. Bixler going to the signs with Pollock. Pitch on the way. Breaking pitch high. Evens count 2-2. One hit thus far for Windy City. A one-out double by Coco Johnson in left center. Fastball elevated. Ball 3. Very important for Bixler to keep the ball down. Last time out against Joliet, struggled with some pitches up in the zone that allowed some early runs for the Slammers. Full count, 2 outs. Bixler hangs and delivers. Ball popped up. Looks like it's going to stay in play here. Wobrock and Rodriguez come together. Rodriguez is able to track it down in foul territory for out number 3. High fastball gets Kyle Wood the foul out for out number 3. Windy City, 1 man left on 1 hit. 1 stolen base for Coco Johnson. We're going to enter the top of the 2nd inning. Wild Things rolling out 4, 5, and 6. David Popkins, Jimmy Yezzo, Grant Fink. Thanks for joining us. Game 3 of this series. Final 4 games of the season for your Wild Things. We're going to pause briefly and return back to action. And we're going to return here for top of the 2nd inning action between your Washington Wild Things and the Windy City Thunderbolts. Game 3 of this series. Last home game of the year for the Windy City Thunderbolts. Certainly the best crowd of the 3 days. With Windy City being eliminated the past 2 days, struggled to reach about 500 per game. Tonight, $1.25 beer has seemed to bring a handful more people. David Popkins leads it off, top of the 2nd. First pitch fastball down in the zone for ball 1. Popkins, your statistical leader, home runs, RBIs, doubles for your Wild Things. Fastball down, ball 2. (2-0) for the switch hitter Popkins. Doubled yesterday. Pops it up. Fastball at 89. Ransom Lawn out at shortstop. Makes the grab for out number 1. Popkins retired in 3 pitches. It's going to bring up your first baseman, number 35, Jimmy Yezzo. Chapman, pitch on the way. First pitch fastball by Yezzo, strike one. Yezzo 12 home runs on the season, 0-1 count. Slider inside. Evens the count at ones. Yezzo 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. Second year with the Wild Things. Slider pulled over, grounded over to second base, 4-3 for out number 2. Just like Popkins, Yezzo's retired in 3 pitches. He's going to bring up your second baseman, number 33, Grant Fink. Fink, 9 home runs on the season, 23 RBIs. Base hit last night, hard ground ball, eating up Blair Beck at third base. First pitch slider down in the zone. The 1-0 on the way. Grounded over to Beck on the backhand, cross the diamond. That's out number 3. 1-2-3 go the Wild Things. 8-pitch inning. Not much work there for Chapman. We're going to head to the bottom of the second. 0-0. Windy City coming to bat. Ransom Lalonde, Johnny Ironman, Cody Kiefer. Thanks for joining us. And we're back here, bottom of the second inning. Game 3 of the series for your Wild Things and Windy City Thunderbolts. And we're in the bottom of the second. Score remains 0-0. Windy City partially threatened in the bottom of the first. 1 out double by Coco Johnson, followed by his successful steal of third base. Bixler was able to retire the left-handed hitter Kyle Wood for the third out on a foul ball pop-up to Ricky Rodriguez along the third base line. He's going to bring up the shortstop, Ransom Lalonde. Lalonde, 258 on the season, 2 home runs. Bixler out of the windup, pitch on the way. Fastball down in the zone for ball 1. Bixler on the way. Fastball in on the hands, pops him up. All 3 Wild Things players converge. Wobrock out there, makes the catch in front of Chris Grayson, who lost his hat once again. 2 fly balls for Grayson to run after, and 2 times his hat ends up in center field on the ground relatively quick. 1 out for your Wild Things. Long one for Wobrock. Ball hanging up in the air there for out number 1. It's going to bring up Johnny Ironman. Flashes a bunt attempt, and I don't know what that was. A slash bunt line drive to Jimmy Yezzo at first base. I've seen a lot of push bunt attempts. I would have to say I've never seen a line drive bunt. Not with that much authority, at least. Out number 2. He's going to bring up the right fielder, Cody Kiefer. 2 outs. First pitch fastball, strike 1 at 85. Oh, 1 count for Bixler. Pitch on the way. Fastball down and away for ball 1. So one thing, you watch enough baseball, Wild Things baseball, baseball in general, you never... Ball foul right back. Bixler turns, throws. Out number 3. As I said, in watching enough baseball, you'll always find something that's catch your eye, surprise you year in, year out, whether it's major leagues, youth baseball, high school baseball. You see Zach McAllister from the Indians bounce a ball off his calf, turn around, do circles, make a catch you probably never seen before. And thanks to Johnny Ironman, I saw a line drive bunt attempt for out number 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. Wild Things, quick work of Windy City, 1-2-3. We're going to enter top of the 3rd. Thanks for joining us for Game 3 of the series. Entering the top of the 3rd, back on this MSA production of Wild Things Baseball 2016 season. Score remains 0-0. For your Wild Things, leading it off will be designated hitter number 34, Justin Garcia, followed by catcher Kyle Pollock and your shortstop Austin Wilbrock. 7, 8, 9 in your Wild Things lineup. Garcia has played all 3 games of the series. Game 1, collected 2 hits. As you can see, Ransom Lalonde shifting up the middle, following Garcia's 2 base hits, ground balls up the middle, game 1. Protecting where he's been hitting the ball, and there it goes again. Ground ball up the middle, blocked up by Chapman, flips along the first base for out number 1. Chapman making quick work of Wild Things players here. Last inning, if my memory is correct, 8 pitches to collect 3 outs. Garcia's retired on 1 pitch there. No hits on the board thus far for your Wild Things. 3 hits last night in the 2-0 loss. It's going to bring up your catcher, number 15, Kyle Pollock. Pollock settles in against the right-hander. First pitch fastball down and in just barely at 86. The 1-0 count to Pollock. Fastball outer half, strike 1. Count even 1-1. Slight breeze out to right, not too much. Certainly not carrying balls, pushing him more toward the line than out of the ballpark. Line drive center field. Ironman adjusts, makes a catch. Originally stepped in, realized that ball was hit harder than what he expected. Took 4 or 5 steps back to collect out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for your Wild Things. 9-hole hitter, Austin Wilbrock. See Windy City's defense shift a little bit. Tim Zier shifts more in the hole at second base. Ransom Lalonde back up the middle. First pitch fastball outside for ball 1. One 0 on the way to your shortstop tonight. Fastball up and out. 2-0 count. Austin Wilbrock. Game 1, Woolbrook solo shot home run, his second of the season. 2-0 on the way. Fastball fouled out of play. Brings the count 2-1. Woolbrook digs back in there. 2-1. 2 outs. Ball inside. Pushing Woolbrook out of the batter box there. 3-1, 2 outs. Chapman going through his signs. Him and Bass on the same page. On the way. Ball 4, up and away. Fastball. Woolbrook's going to walk to turn over the lineup. Second walk of the day for Chapman. Walked Andrew Heck on a full count pitch. Walks Austin Woolbrook there. Andrew Heck settling back in, your leadoff batter for your Wild Things, largely for the whole second half of the season. Chapman out of the stretch. Picks over to first base. Woolbrook in there safely. Chapman does give up his fair share of extra base hits. That's doesn't allow too many hits, but the numbers show that when he does, they're largely doubles. Fastball down in the zone. Ball 1. 1-0 count. 2 outs for your Wild Things here in the top of the third. Pitch on the way. Ball inside. Brings the count 2-0. Chapman comes set. 2-0 delivery to Andrew Heck. Ball down. Fastball. Count goes 3-0. On deck is going to be Chris Grayson, center fielder number 3. Hard line drive. Almost home run in the making. In the top of the first for Chris Grayson. First pitch fastball that Cody Kiefer was able to track down. Ball 4. High fastball. It's going to get runners first and second. 2 outs. Corey Bass goes out to talk to Clay Chapman very briefly, knowing that Grayson got a good piece of a Chapman fastball in the first. Going to be interested to see if they're going to attack him with an early fastball, despite Grayson's aggressiveness at the plate. After that 4-pitch walk of Andrew Heck, put a runner in scoring position. 2 walks this inning. No hits on the board thus yet for your Wild Things. Grayson, 276 average entering the night, 4 home runs, almost had his 5th. Outfield across the board, playing straight up. First pitch fastball down. That's 5 straight. 6 straight. Going back to Woolbrook's ball 4. 1-0 count to Grayson. Louisiana native, stepping in from the left side. There's a slider, fouled straight back. Evens the count, 1-1, 2 outs. Wild Things threaten here, courtesy of some walks by Clay Chapman. After 2 quick outs, he was able to collect. Fastball outside, brings the count 2-1. Chapman going through the signs, comes set. Ransom on the lawn, playing behind Austin Woolbrook at second. Slider swing and a miss. 2-2, 2 outs. 7:36 here Central Time. Woolbrook on second, Andrew Heck on first. Chris Grayson settles in. Chapman set and delivers. Slider inside. Grayson able to turn out of the way. Count's going to go full. Full count, 2 outs. Runners will be off on the pitch. Sure, Grayson here will be geared up for a pitch in the zone. Checks the runner at second. Inside turn. Wilbrook able to get back. Let's do it again. 3-2, 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Outer half. Questionable pitch. Grayson staying aggressive there. Strikes out for out number 3. It's going to bring you to the bottom of the third inning. 0-0. Brandon Bixler back on the mound for his third inning of work. Thanks for joining us. And we're back here on your Washington Wild Things broadcast. 2016 season. Wild Things threaten, top of the third. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Just failed to execute to get that 2-out hit that has been lacking largely this series and for on and off portions of the 2016 season. Wild Things looking for that one guy to step up to break games open here and there in pressure situations. Entering the bottom of the third, it's going to be the first baseman for Windy City, Larry Bockwell. Bixler, pitch on the way. First pitch fastball, strike 1. Bixler playing with his velocity. He's been 82, 86, back and forth. With only 7 innings under his arm, he's still getting his legs under him. Line drive, left field line. He's going to drop his hit. Andrew Hex cutting it off. Larry Bockwell is going to end up turning and holding at first. The slow turf was able to hold that ball from going to the wall. Andrew Heck playing that ball on the backhand. Firing a one-hopper in there to Grant Fink at second base. That's the second hit thus far for Windy City. Bringing up the third baseman, Blair Beck. Bixler going to be working out of the stretch against the righty. Come set, checking Bockwell at first. Bunt turned, fouled straight back. Looked like Beck was trying to push that ball to first base with Jimmy Yezzo holding and a lefty on the mound. Fouls it straight back for strike 1. Ricky Rodriguez playing on the line of the dirt/grass turf. Pulled back for ball 1. Count even, 1-1. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Windy City began the inning with a leadoff single of Larry Bockwell. Bixler comes set, checks the runner. Checks him again. Long look, steps off. Bockwell, not much of a running threat. 6'4" catcher. Running is not his suit as in terms of comparison to Coco Johnson with 40-plus stolen bases. The 1-1. Fastball in or half. Elevated in the zone. Probably not where Bixler would want that ball, but got the call. Gets him ahead 1-2. Eliminates the thought of a bunting threat here with nobody out. Bixler comes set. Checks the runner. Checks. And here we go. Swing and a miss. There's that overhand curveball. Blair Beck struck out for out number 1. He's going to turn the lineup over, for second baseman Tim Zier. Lefty versus righty action. Zier settles in. Bixler is set. Pitch on the way, and Bockwell's off and running. Pollock throw down. Wrong side of the bag. Not able to get the tag back on the Bockwell. Ball beat Bockwell by a good 2 steps there. Fortunately, the throw went to the third base side of the bag. Required Fink to backhand it, come back across his body to tag Bockwell, not in time. Stolen base gets Bockwell to second. 1 out. Pitch on the call on the pitch was a strike. Going to bring the count 0-1. Hangs and delivers. Fouled straight back. 0-2 for Bixler. Center fielder Grayson shifted a few feet right of the second base bag. Everyone else is relatively straight up. Bixler going through his signs. Comes set. Checks the runner. Pitch on the way. Breaking pitch bounces a good 4 feet in front. Blocked by Pollock. Count goes 1-2. Zier grounded out in the first for out number 1. 3-hopper to Grant Fink on a fastball that got in on the hands. Bixler comes set. Hangs and inside move to second base. Bockwell not traveling too far from the bag. Wild Things defenders staying in their position. Not giving too much attention to the runner on second. Bixler comes set. Hangs, delivers. Fastball in on the hands. Fouled off. First base side. Bixler, the Florida native. Affiliated reliever with the Twins. Since his release has been largely a starter as he was in college with the Atlantic League and here in Washington. Comes set. Pitch on the way. Change up. Misses inside. Evens the count at 2-2. Bixler quickly got ahead of 0-2. Comes set for the 2-2 pitch. Fastball high and away. It's going to bring the count full. Full count. 1 out. Open base for Bixler. Doesn't have to give it entirely to throw a fastball in a spot he doesn't want to throw it. See where him and Pollock decide to go to attack Zier. Fastball in. Ricky Rodriguez line drive, handled it. Good positioning for Ricky Rodriguez. Relatively deep behind third base. That ball gets over Ricky. It's going to get ugly and get down the line. Zero speed easily. He's going to make that a double. Hard time making that to 3, but Ricky Rodriguez is able to jump and make the catch for out number 2. Bringing up the left fielder, Coco Johnson. Doubled in the first on a fastball. Interested to see how Bixler attacks him this time. First pitch, breaking ball. Called a ball. Had the double check. I saw the umpire point to the right. Didn't believe he made the strike call, but had to check the board to make sure. Fastball down in the zone. Brings the count 2-0. Same situation as facing Zier. Open base. Make Johnson hit your pitch. 2-0 on the way. 2 outs. High fastball, ball 3. On deck will be the catcher, Corey Bass. He popped up his first at-bat. Coco Johnson settles in for the 3-0. Him and Pollock. Bixler and Pollock. And time is called. Bixler and Pollock going through their signs, and Kyle Pollock threw up his hands to call time to shuffle through their thoughts again of how they want to potentially attack Coco Johnson to get back in this at-bat. Bixler comes set. Fastball. Foul straight back. Interesting, Coco Johnson swinging there. 3-0. Fastball. Outer half. Windy City's season has already been pronounced over in terms of playoff hopes, so players being traditionally more aggressive than the situation would allow normally. Bixler going through the signs, comes set. Pitch on the way. There, and there's a breaking ball popped up in the infield. Woolbrook makes the grab for out number 3. Appreciate the aggressiveness there by Coco Johnson to hit an elevated breaking ball and allow himself to be the third out and get Bixler out of the jam. Through 3, score remains 0-0. Windy City 2 hits on the board. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to enter the top of the 4th. Game 3 of this series in Windy City. We're back here, top of the 4th inning for your Washington Wild Things. My apologies for not being able to extend the camera angle further down the third base line. There was a pretty entertaining knocker ball collisions, probably the 2 most violent ones I've ever seen. Full sprints colliding and both guys falling on their back. Relatively violent. Good show there for sure. Top of the 4th inning. Going to be a 3-4-5 for your Wild Things. Ricky Rodriguez hitting to a 5-4-3 double play his last at-bat and to end the bottom of the 1st. Ground ball. Nice sliding play by Blair Beck in the hole. Able to get to his feet. Throw takes him off the bag. They're very quick to throw up an error on that one. Benefit of some home scoring there. That ball was rocketed pretty good by Ricky. Back goes glove side. Not routine, but home scoring, so be it. David Popkins, runner on first, nobody out. Fastball down in the zone, ball 1. Windy City staying away from Popkins largely in the series. Has got his fair share of pitches late in the game, but early on they're not letting Popkins do all the damage. There's a breaking ball. Backdoor slider for strike 1. Windy City playing Popkins straight up. Middle infielders pinching toward the middle in double play depth. Popkins settles in for the 1-1. Fouled straight back. Out, or strike number 2, sorry. One, two, nobody out. Ricky Rodriguez reaches on an error of third baseman Blair Beck. Throw pulling Larry Bacco off the bag. Chapman comes set. Pitch on the way. Fastball up and in. Evens the count 2-2. Popkins 14 home runs on the season. Not going to be able to match his 20 per last year, but change up outside. Popkins doing a lot of other things better and different than what he did last year, making adjustments for his second year in the Frontier League. Higher average, more doubles. Trying to be more consistent. Full count on the way. Line drive. It's going to see if it's going to bleed. Ransom Lawn unable to make the bare hand catch. Ricky Rodriguez trying to get back to second, unable to get there. It's going to be retired 7-4. 7-4, yes. Ransom Lawn tried to go bare hand on the pop-up instead of using his glove. As I've said earlier, I've seen some things this game that never seen. He had a glove for a reason, decided not to want to use it. Ball's going to drop, picked up by Coco Johnson. It's going to be a fielder's choice for Popkins on that hit and run full count attempt, bringing up first baseman Jimmy Yezzo. Unfortunate break for your Wild Things. Could have potentially set this inning up. Yezzo drives the ball right center. Long run for Kiefer. Sliding grab. More unfortunate breaks for your Wild Things this inning. Ball could have easily died and been very unfortunate for Windy City if that ball drops, gets by Kiefer. Popkins and Yezzo run for a good while with that ball getting to the wall. Kiefer able to pick that ball off the turf for out number 2. Grant Fink to the dish with 2 outs. Ball fouled out of play for strike 1. Wild Things have had some interesting innings or opportunities this series. Bases loaded, 1 out, unable to score. Couple diving stabs. Ransom Lawn diving on a line drive up the middle yesterday against Yezzo to turn a double play. 0-1 on the way to Fink with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on a slider. Just makes you think, what if this inning would have won? If 1 ball drops or 1 break, what this inning could have been if Rodriguez is able to beat that ball to second on a flare by Popkins. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Slider. Interesting inning. 3 outs collected. No official base hits for your Wild Things. 3 balls that could have been hits for the Wild Things, but no breaks to allow them to enter on the scoreboard. We're going to enter bottom of the 4th, 0-0. Thanks for joining us. Back here, bottom of the 4th inning. Washington Wild Things, Windy City, Game 3 of the series. As I noted earlier, we'll be heading on a bus to Lake Erie following tonight's game, playing a 7:05 game, the last 3 games of the season, the last series of the season. Unless the Wild Things are able to push themselves into the playoff mix. Score remains 0-0. 2 hits on the board thus far for Windy City. 1 error on the board on the Ricky Rodriguez hot shot. It's going to bring up the catcher, Corey Bass, number 33, to face Brandon Bixler. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. First pitch fastball. Bixler back on the mound. Pitch on the way. Change up outside. Evens the count 1-1. Bass hitting in the 3-hole tonight. Catching all 3 games of the series. Pitch on the way. Fastball inside. 84 mile an hour. Bixler. Brings count 2-1. Bass 0 for 1 on the day on a fly ball and back in the first. Going through his signs. Hangs and delivers. Fastball fouled straight back. Feeling like fall here in Crestwood, Illinois. 66 degrees. More jackets, sweatshirts in the stands and in the bullpens and in the dugouts. Two-two pitch on the way. Hangs and delivers. Breaking ball. Swung and missed, strike 3. Pollock slides inside. Makes a throw along the first. Out number 1. Breaking ball. Able to get Bass swing and miss. Chasing. Low and in. Nice to see Bixler be able to feel that pitch today. With only limited innings under his arm. Is just getting used to throwing the breaking pitches again and getting swings and misses. His fastball's been good. Limiting walks. It's just being able to use his whole arsenal. First pitch fastball. Kyle Wood, high for ball 1. Lefty on lefty action. Got a foul out in the first against Wood to end the threat. Fastball outside. Caught Kyle Pollock's thumb in an awkward position as he shakes it off. (2-0). Wood solo shot back in game 1, and Pollock's going to take time and go out and talk to Bixler, the left-hander. Make sure they're on the same page facing Wood. Heard that Kyle Wood led the Big Ten in home runs this season. His first professional year, just wrapped his year up at Purdue. Three home runs on the season so far for the pure rookie from, he's an Illinois native. Largely designated hitter. Two on the way. Fastball up and in. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. 1 guy out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Fastball called strike 1. Bixler gets the ball back from Pollock. Right back to work. Checks his sign. Ball rolled over to Jimmy Yezzo. Fields it. Takes it himself. 3 unassisted. Not the 3-1 type swing I'm sure Kyle Wood would want. Middle out fastball. He was able to roll over. Easy work for Jimmy Yezzo to field. Take over to himself. Take over to the bag himself, sorry. 2 outs. Bringing up the shortstop, Ransom Lalonde. Lalonde, one of the taller shortstops in the Frontier League. Big leg kick, hangs, and tries to generate some power. Pitch on the way. Looking for an early pitch fastball. He gets one, fouls it straight back. Ransom Lalonde, Ricky Rodriguez played summer collegiate ball with each other back in the day. As Ricky noted during BP. Fastball fouled straight back. Ransom Lalonde, one of the more interesting shortstops, one of the more interesting players in the Frontier League. He takes a lot of pride in being a quote-unquote agitator. Plays the game with a certain bit of grit that guys pick up on. 0-2, breaking ball, hangs it. Ball's driven down the left field line. It's going to one-hop the wall in left field. Andrew Heck picks it up. Throws it in the Woolbrook as Lalonde cruises in the second. Not where Bixler wants that ball 0-2. Him and Pollock share that discussion. Had Lalonde where he wanted him. Had the right pitch he wanted to attack him with. Left it up in the zone, and Lalonde able to hang and keep that ball fair down the left field line. Crowd reacted like that ball was a threat to leave the yard. Not with this temperature and not with the way this ballpark's been playing this series. 1 man on, 2 outs. Johnny Ironman, center fielder at the dish. Fastball up and away. Ball 1. Ironman 0 for 1 on the night. Pollock going through the signs with Bixler. Steps off, and they're going to call a balk. Believe they're going to call it on Bixler's hesitation on coming set. That he started the come set. And I'm looking at umpire's explanation. He's saying that he lifted his chest. I was thinking on more of a hesitation that Bixler was coming set, paused briefly, and then started coming set again, which would have been a balk, but gonna not elaborate too much on that. The 1-0 on the way. Fastball, strike 1. Bixler just shake off the balk call. No harm, no foul. Back to work, make him get a base hit to beat you. 1-1, 2 outs, Johnny Ironman. Pollock sets up inside. Misses inside. 8:05 Central Time. Brandon Bixler here in the bottom of the 4th. Comes set. Ready to deliver. Popped up. Not going to stay in play. Going to land pretty close to the Bud Light party deck. There along the right field line. Bixler and Pollock having a conversation. Going to attack Ironman here. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on third, following a double and then a balk call. Pollock setting up inside. Breaking pitch, popped up, right field. Popkins and Fink converge. Popkins makes the grab. 3 outs. Windy City, 1 hit on the board. That bottom of the 4th on a Ransom Lalonde 0-2, 2 out double. Score remains 0-0. A lot of zeros on the board still. Washington Wild Things going to bat here in the top of the 5th. Clay Chapman out for his 5th inning of work. We're going to pause and get back to action here for you. Back here, top of the 5th, Washington Wild Things, Windy City, knotted up at 0. For the Wild Things this inning, going to start it off with designated hitter number 34, Justin Garcia. Grounded out to the pitcher's last at bat. Fastball on the outside corner, strike one. 89 mile an hour from Clay Chapman. Fastball, slider, changeup guy. Garcia settles in. Ball driven out to right field. Not going to stay fair, though. Garcia got good wood on that. Snapped, hooked it foul. Brings the count 0-2. Fastball up and away. Windy City pinching up the middle against Garcia here. Garcia settles in. Changeup misses outside. 2-2. Count evens for Garcia. Lefty from Florida. Fastball misses in. So from 0-2 to 3-2 for Garcia. Should be geared up for a fastball here. And just as I say that, he gets a slider in the dirt, swing and miss. Ball back to the wall. Garcia is going to reach. Should go down as a pass ball. And it goes as wild pitch. Official scorer and I here at Windy City certainly don't see eye to eye throughout the series, as that ball simply went 5-hole. Wasn't anything crazy. Brings up Kyle Pollock. And that speaks for itself. Line drive back on a hit and run attempt. Ball goes right in the Chapman's glove. Over to first baseman Larry Bockwell for an unquestionable, loud double play. Pollock just shakes his head. That's the second ball of this game Pollock's hit very hard. Makes you really question the luck the Wild Things have had this series, or the lack of luck we've had this series. Wobrock at the dish. Swing and a miss, strike one. So many opportunities, so many situations this series. Wild Things just look back and unlucky. Ground ball, 4-3. Wild Things retired in order, following Justin Garcia reach on a strikeout, followed by a hit and run attempt. Line drive smoked back to Clay Chapman, right to his glove. A 1-3 double play on a line out. Wild Things still without a hit on the board. Thanks for joining us for this Game 3 series. We're going to pause and get things rolling here for the bottom of the 5th. Return the action here on the MSA broadcast. Washington Wild Things, Game 3 at Standard Bank Stadium. Current series tied at 1. Deciding game tonight. Brandon Bixler on the mound for his 6th inning of work. He's going to be facing the right fielder, number 7, Cody Kiefer. Lefty on lefty action. Bixler has his pitch on the way. Breaking ball, bounces in there for ball 1. One 0. Fastball up and in. Brings the count 2-0. Cody Kiefer on the season, 254, 4 home runs. 0 for 1 thus far with a ground out. 2-0 on the way. Fastball up and in. Ball 3. Bixler settles in. 3-0 on the way. 4-pitch walk to Cody Kiefer to start the bottom of the 5th. So we'll be bringing up Larry Bockwell and Blair Beck, 8-9 in the lineup. One would expect that Windy City's going to go back to their attempt for small ball. Lay a bunt down. Try to get a runner in scoring position and get a base hit. Wild Things still remain hitless in the game so far, despite 2 or 3 balls that could have been, one that could have been scored a hit, one that dropped for a hit but was able to be saved for a fielder choice, and Kyle Pollock's smoke back to Chapman for a double play that was going to be a base hit. There's your bunt attempt, ball 1, as Bockwell pulls back. Very interesting series for your Wild Things. One 0 count on the way. Bixler set. Bockwell squares, lays a bunt down. Pollock out in front. Throw to second. Gets him at second. No, we got a double play. Pollock jumps out from behind the plate. Throws the Wobark on the second. Grant Fink shuffles from his second base position. The man first base bag as Jimmy Yezzo is charging. It's a very intriguing 2-6-4 double play. Keeping the trend of the day of things that I'm not very traditional in seeing. It's not a common double play whatsoever. First pitch, fastball, strike 1. Bixler facing the 9-hole Blair Beck. Hangs and delivers. Off speed, bounces in there for ball 1. Digs back in. Pitch on the way. Ball popped up. Gonna look like it's gonna stay in playing territory. Popkins in. A foot foul. Makes the grab. Out number 3 as all three Wild Things converge there. Popkins calls them off for out number 3. Another interesting inning. 1-2-3. Windy City retired in order thanks to a 2-6-4 double play. Failed bunt attempt by Larry Bockwell. Going to be rolling here at the top of the 6th inning. Zeros across the board. In terms of the runs, at least, Windy City 3 hits on 1 error. Wild Things, no hits, no errors. We're going to pause. enjoy this promotion as Windy City makes a bunch of errors and this kid gets to run around the bases. Thanks for joining us. We're back here, Washington Wild Things broadcast, top of the 6th inning. Hopefully you were able to see a good portion of that in-game promotion that Windy City runs here. Windy City does a pretty good job of interacting or intertwining their players with the in-game promotions. They did a beanbag toss with Windy City players wearing helmets with buckets and having some fans throw some beanbags into their helmets. And you have that kid, as you just saw between the inning break, hit a ball and run around the bases, try to score a run against Windy City as he prompted to collide with the catcher Corey Bass to score an error-filled inside the park home run. Nice to see the crowd get into that, cheer the kid on. The kid gets really into it, trying to track the ball and score an inside the parker. Andrew Heck leading it off. First pitch fastball, strike one. Heck digs back in, 0-1 against Chapman. Fastball 0-2. Heck 2 walks on the day. Walk in the first, walk in the third. Chapman rocks and fires. Fastball. Just a yanked fastball. Misses outside. 1-2. There's the slider. Fouled off right field side. Ball just short of trickling into the Wild Things dugout. Wild Things looking for their first official hit. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Slider. Out number 1. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 3, Chris Grayson. Grayson, a warning track threat in the first inning. First pitch following the full count walk of Andrew Heck put a charge in the one out near the scoreboard. Grayson settles in. Fastball strike 1, 89 on the gun. Windy City's outfield playing back to normal depth now after playing shallow early. Slider just misses. Outside. Found a backdoor slider on Grayson. Grayson 0 for 2. Struck out in his second at bat. Grayson charges that one. Ball going deep to right. Not going to have enough with this, the way this ballpark's been playing this series. Grayson a little frustrated. Got a good charge on that slider. Ball's not traveling whatsoever today. Easily the worst of the 3 days of trying to drive a ball out of this ballpark. As I noted early in the game, a team maybe that's going to collect 4 or 5 singles in a row might win this one. Slider outside for ball 1 to Ricky Rodriguez. 2 outs for Ricky. Ricky hit into a double play his first at-bat. Reached on a called error on a ball struck very hard to the third baseman, Blair Beck. Ricky fouls off this fastball as Windy City's dugout clears. Didn't think that ball was hit that hard, and next thing I know, Windy City players and coaches diving out of the way. Dugouts are really, really close to home plate here and always have to pay attention. Slider fouled straight back. Brings the count 1-2. 1-2, 2 outs. Wild Things must-win territory the rest of the season. Have to take care of business, and every game the rest of the year. Thanks for joining us down the late stretch of the season here. Slider fouled straight back. Wild Things have made it interesting all season. Have kept themselves in the mix from day one to the last week of the season here. That's all you really can ask. Swing and a miss, slider, strike 3. 3 up, 3 down. Wild Things fail to score in 6 straight innings of Game 3. We're going to pause, go into the bottom of the 6th. No action for the Wild Things. Brandon Bixler will be out for a 6th inning of work. Thanks for joining us on the CMSA broadcast of Washington Wild Things Baseball. Back here, Standard Bank Stadium, Crestwood, Illinois. Bottom of the 6th inning. Score remains 0-0. Left-handed starter Brandon Bixler will be facing leadoff man Tim Zier. Third time through the lineup for Bixler. Pitch on the way. Fastball fouled back. Going to bring the count 0-1. Bixler, 0 for 2 on the night. Zier digs back in. Bixler going through his signs. Little quick wind up. And the pitch. Fastball lined into right center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Inside out swing for Zier. Kind of his MO. Try to bust him on the hands, and he was able to lift that ball over Grant Fink and drop it in the right center. Another leadoff man reaches for Windy City. Going to bring up the 3-hole man, Coco Johnson. Interested to see if Coco's going to play small ball and try to bunt or hit and run, what Windy City has up in store. Fastball driven to right center. Ball's not going to go anywhere too far. Popkins settles under, makes the catch. For out number 1. Coco Johnson, staying very aggressive, pops that ball up. High fastball that unable to stay on top of. Catcher Corey Bass walking to the dish. Tim Zero, decent threat to run. Kyle Pollock has done a good job this series of throwing out runners. Pollock's done a decent job since coming back from injury of controlling the running game. Lefty Bixler holds him. Fastball up and out for ball 1. First base coach talking to Zero about Bixler's time to the plate to see if it's something that they feel like they can run on. Bixler checks Zero. Pitch on the way. Ball going to drop in there for in front of Popkins for a base hit. Didn't hang up enough on the line to Popkins to make a catch. Not much movement in the Wild Things bullpen as of yet. Bixler's pitch count's probably getting up there a little bit with some longer counts and longer innings with some runners on base. Runner on first and second, left-handed hitter Kyle Wood, the designated hitter. 0 for 2 tonight. Lefty on lefty action. There's that breaking pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Curveball. Last at bat, if my memory is correct, Wood rolled over on a outside fastball to Jimmy Yezzo. Nice to potentially get a ground ball here to end the inning. Fastball, nope. Breaking ball bounces in. Pollock able to body that one up, keep it in front of him. 1-1, 1 out. 2 men on. Bixler working out of the stretch against the pure rookie from Purdue. Pitch on the way. Swing and a missed fastball. Challenging the young Kyle Wood. See if Bixler set him up with that up and in fastball to go back outside and drop off that breaking ball Bixler has in his arsenal. Wilbrock holding the runner close at second. Gonna bounce back to his position here. Breaking pitch, there it is, fouled off. Good pitch by Bixler, off the plate. Wood with an emergency swing to get a good piece to stay alive in this at-bat. Bixler going to the signs with Pollock. Coming set. Checks the runner. And looking to see what the call would be on it. They're going to give Wood the hit batter. Almost felt that ball was where that ball hit him on the hand. It's very close to the knob. It could have went either way. That's why I wanted to pause before making any rash judgment. Umpire behind the plate, Jacob Asher, waited to see the reaction of Wood and collect his thoughts before making that call. And so we're going to have bases loaded. 1 man out. Ransom along, the shortstop at the dish. Manager Greg Langben goes out to talk to Bixler. As Lalonde's notoriously aggressive hitter with he's going to look for a first pitch fastball, and hang and see if you can do something with it to drive in the first run of the ball game. Ransom Lawn last time up hit an 0-2 breaking ball down the left field line for a double. Got some movement out in the Wild Things dugout, or Wild Things bullpen, sorry. Gonna be right-hander, number 17, Colin Stanley, warming up there with John Fidanza. Bixler back on the mound. Ricky Rodriguez playing on the edge of the grass and dirt turf. Same with Jimmy Ezzo on first base side, middle infield playing double play depth. Bixler on the way. There's that first pitch breaking ball, and Lalonde stays aggressive, swing and a miss. Sure, that was a conversation Langben and Bixler had, knowing the type of player and hitter that Lalonde is in this type of situation. Uses aggressiveness against him, if at all possible, for strike one. Bixler settles in, checks the runner, uses that aggressiveness again. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball, 0-2. Bixler in this situation last time with Lalonde. See if you can execute a little bit better with the pressure situation. Going through the signs. Bixler settles in. Kyle Pollock setting up inside. And hits him in the foot. Frustrating. Frustrating order of an events there. Did everything you wanted to do. Allowed the first run on a hit batter on an 0-2 pitch with one out. Following two ugly swings of Lalonde. They went back to the fastball and hit him right in the left foot. It's going to bring up Johnny Ironman. Wild Things trail 1-0. Ball's flied out to right center. Very shallow. Popkins running in. We got no tag at third. Popkins throw offline. Jimmy Yezzo able to take the cut. Popkins collects out number 2. Bases remain loaded. Windy City gifted one run there on a 0-2 hit batter. Bixler ended up hitting 2 hit batters in a row to load the bases and drive one in. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. One would assume this is Bixler's last inning. Shakes off Pollock with the 0-1. Comes set. Breaking pitch, blocked by Pollock for ball 1. One, 2 outs. Windy City, bottom of the 6th. Fastball grounded to Yezzo. He's going to take it himself, 3 unassisted. Bixler obviously a little frustrated with his failed execution on that 0-2 one-out pitch to the lawn where came inside, hit him in the foot, allowing the first run of the ball game. Windy City, as I said, has plated the first run. They lead 1-0. 1 run, 5 hit, 1 error. Wild Things looking to put something on the board, whether it's a hit or a run here. Top of the 7th. We're going to paint a picture here as we get back to baseball. Back to action here. Top of the 7th. Wild Things trail 1-0. Sorry for the adjustments there with the camera, as my box that I'm in is just off center, so I'm trying to include as much camera angle as I can so you can see the field of play, with respect to also being able to see the batter's box. Just for recognition and to hopefully jinx myself, Clay Chapman has a no-hitter. See if the Wild Things can do something about it here in the 7th. David Popkins leading it off. First pitch, strike 1. Inside corner against Popkins. Count goes 0-1. Popkins fouls off this ball. Almost smokes the cameraman standing in the Wild Things first base well. Gives the thumbs up sign that he was able to dodge it. Count goes 0-2. Popkins 4-hole batter. Fastball misses outside. San Diego native digs in on the 1-2. Popkins drives it out the center. Able to take a couple steps back, make the catch for out number 1. Johnny Ironman in center field. Fly out for Popkins for out number 1 here in the 7th. Wild Things backs up against the wall, as I've stated all series. There's been conversation from day 1 of what's on the table with this series and what needs to be done. And handling business is first and foremost. So see what Washington can do with Jimmy Yezzo at the dish. Fastball fouled straight back for strike 1. Oh, 1 out. Cherry Hill native, Nationals product. Fastball, nope, I'm wrong. Slider, strike 2. Not one of Chapman's better ones in terms of spin. Just kind of floated up there. There's a back foot slider. Ball 1. 1-2, 1 out. 5-hole batter, Jimmy Yezzo. Ball driven to left. That ball is going to get out of play. Good piece on that by Jimmy Yezzo. Once again, I'm going to make note that Clay Chapman has a no-hitter. Jimmy Yezzo at the dish. Slider down. Evens the count of 2s. Wild Things bullpen has went quiet. Colin Stanley told to get back down, let Bixler go back to work in the 7th. I'm sure if anything would, if Wild Things would get in any issues, he would get back up, ready to go. Yezzo chops this one off the plate, back to Chapman, flip the first, out number 2. Number 33, Grant Fink, coming to the dish. Settles in with 2 outs. Misses outside for ball 1. Winds and delivers. Driven to center. It's going to go over the head. Not a good judgment there by Johnny Ironman. Fink's going to turn for a double. I was about to note that when Windy City, with their situation of being already out of the playoff, there's no doubt that Clay Chapman knew he had a no-hitter going. That's what he was pitching for. Ball driven well by Grant Fink. Johnny Ironman froze and unable to recover on that ball driven straightaway center. Tailing away from the center fielder out toward the right center gap. It's going to bring up Justin Garcia, number 34. Middle infield once again pitches up the middle to try to cut up the gap that Garcia has been using. Slider drops in there for strike one. Wild Things collect their first hit and maybe looking for some two-out magic here to get on the board. Garcia takes a changeup. Evens count 1-1. Some action out in Windy City's bullpen. I'll get a name to match that number out there here shortly. Garcia 1-1, 2 outs. Fink at second. Fastball misses outside. Number 27, Austin Delmont, warming up in Windy City's bullpen. Garcia, 2 RBIs on the season. Solo shot at Travers and a sac fly somewhere. My memory is not allowing me to put it all together, but it was a sac fly. I believe it might have been in Travers as well. Back is a pickoff. Fink slides in. Rain's on the lawn, playing almost straight over the bag now. Garcia fouls this ball off the left. Gets a good piece of it. Not able to keep it fair. 2-2, 2 outs. Nice time for Garcia to drive in a run here. Wild Things backs against the wall. First hit on the board here in the top of the 7th on a Grant Fink double. Pitch on the way. Nope. Inside. Moving the feet of Garcia. Open base against Garcia. Interested to see if Chapman's going to go to the well, go to a slider, or is he going to try to challenge Garcia with a fastball here? Full count, 2 outs. Catcher Kyle Pollock on deck. There's the slider. Going to be hooked foul. Ball flipped up into the stands by first baseman Larry Bockwell. Full count, 2 outs. Fink runs decently well at second. And they're going to punch him out. Garcia not happy. Fastball on the outside corner. Garcia didn't agree with it. It's going to be the 3rd out of the inning, top of the 7th. Wild Things collect a hit, but fail to get that 2-out production to break this game open or change the momentum. We'll pause going in the bottom of the 7th as Take Me Out the Ball Game is being sung. Wild Things trail 1-0. Game 3, Windy City. Return to action here, Crestwood, Illinois, Game 3. Series split thus far. Brandon Bixler out for his 7th inning of work. Colin Stanley and John Fidanza get back up. Stretching, getting warm. At some point here, a pen will be used. Colin Stanley used Game 1. Sure, his parents waiting on his entrance to the game as they're diehards listening to every game and watching every video feed as much as possible. Bixler settles in, facing Larry Bockwell, first baseman. Fastball misses out way for ball 1. Told Colin Stanley after Game 1, had to give a shout out to his parents who talked to him immediately following the game and wanted to make sure they got note as that fastball misses inside for ball 2. I know Austin Warbrock's parents also do listen, as he mentioned to me today. 2-0 on the way. Ball was low for ball 3. (3-0) to the 8-hole batter. Larry Bockwell, Blair Beck on deck. Bixler delivers. Nope. Ball 4. Interested to see if we're going to have a change here in terms of the situation and pitch count. Kyle Pollock goes out to talk out to Brandon Bixler. Manager Greg Langbang goes to check out the statistical splits of Blair Beck. Interested to see. It looks like we're not going to have a change. See if Blair Beck's going to try to bunt here or attempt a hit and run. And he's going to square. Bunt is laid down. Fielded. 1-3. Hound to hold to see what Bixler was going to do there. Not sure if the video feed was well enough to see. His feet were twisted like he was going to try to fire to second to make the rush throw. But able to just get the out. Play smart. Manager Greg Langbang comes out. It's going to be a change. I'm going to say yes. Here comes Colin Stanley out of the right field bullpen. We'll pause briefly. I'll do a quick recap of Colin Stanley in terms of his yearly production, as we'll paint the scenario. Go into the bottom of the 7th. Runner on second. One guy out. Back to action here, Crestwood, Illinois. Colin Stanley, the right-handed reliever, second year, coming out of the University of Marshall. Enters the ball game. Stanley on the season, 3-1 record, 3.26 ERA, 39 strikeouts in 47 innings. It's been used a lot in the middle relief, 6th, 7th, 8th inning settings. Stanley fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball 87, 91, depending on the day. Depending on how many innings of work. Fastball, slider. Slider's his go-to in terms of strikeouts and swings and misses. She's going to be facing the leadoff man, Tim Zier. Stanley gets a sign. Runner on second following the bunt sacrifice from Blair Beck. Stanley, pitch on the way. Fastball grounded to Austin Wobrock. Scoops and throws. That's out number 2. Wobrock made a quick look to the runner. Balkwell as he scampered from second to third. No play for Wobrock. No need to rush that or do anything crazy. Take the out. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Coco Johnson. Johnson, 1 for 3 on the night. Settles in against the righty. Runner on third, 2 outs. Stanley set, pitch on the way. There's the slider, strike 1. Coco, a very aggressive hitter. Stanley using his best pitch to get ahead early and see if he can tidy this one up for Bixler. Another slider. Coco Johnson looks back. Doesn't like it. Stanley comes set. See if he triples up on the slider. And he does, and he hangs it. And it's up the middle for a base hit. Drives in the run for Windy City. You can see Stanley's frustration. 0-2 execution tonight is the difference of the ball game, honestly. That ball is nowhere near Stanley wants that 0-2. 2 outs. Bounce that ball, miss anywhere outside. Try to get the swing and the miss. Too much of the plate. Coco Johnson's able to line it back up the middle to drive in the run. Stanley comes set. Fastball called, ball 1. Failed 0-2 execution by Brandon Bixler drove in the first run, or allowed the first run to be crossed by Windy City. Coco Johnson dancing over there. Pickoff attempt. Johnson slides in safely. 1-0 count. Corey Bass at the plate. Stanley has his pitch on the way. Fastball outside. 2-0. Two outs. Coco Johnson on first, following a 0-2 2-out single. Driving in the second run of the ball game. Big lead for Coco. Foul ball. Brings count 2-1. Two outs. Some action out there for Windy City. 6 hits on the night for the Thunderbolts. Slider, swing and miss. 2 twos on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pass digs on in. Doesn't get the call. Just off the plate outside. Slider. Couldn't get the chase that he wanted. Full count, 2 outs. Coco Johnson will be off on the pitch. Stanley set. Ball driven to right field. Popkins going back. Ball's going to hang up there, short of the track. Popkins makes the catch. Windy City able to scratch across 1 run on a 0-2 2-out single of Coco Johnson. Windy City leads 2-0. Wild things down to the last 6 outs. Fingers crossed for some momentum going to be changed here. We'll see if we're going to have a pitching change. Windy City leads 2-0, top of the 8th. Back here, Wild Things baseball. Top of the 8th inning. Wild Things were able to collect their first hit of the ball game on a Grand Fink double with 2 outs. Windy City able to plate a second run here in the bottom of the 7th. Bixler ended up 2 earned runs on his record or on his line tonight. He's going to bring up Kyle Pollock, catcher 8-9-1 for your Wild Things here in the top of the 8th. Clay Chapman still on the mound. Strike 1, fastball to Pollock. Some action out there in Windy City's bullpen. Pollock's hands busted. Flipped 3-1. Out number 1. Austin Wilbrock to the plate. Wild Things trying to do anything they can to threaten this ball game. First pitch fastball smoked up the middle, Rance on the lawn, perfectly fielded, 6-3. Out number 2. Sure, a little bit of frustration setting in the Wild Things dugout, not only not getting a lot of breaks in terms of balls being hit hard right to people, but failing to execute offensively in some pitching spots as well. Andrew Heck steps in. First pitch taken for strike 1. Pitch on the way. Slider low. 1-1. Heck settles in with 2 outs. Fastball, strike 2. One, two outs. Wild Things down to the last potential 4 outs of the ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Going to go in the bottom of the 8th. Wild Things trail 2-0. Frustration, I'm sure, for the Wild Things hitters. We're only able to collect 3 hits yesterday and followed it up with a 1-hit showing so far. We're going to pause and go to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the ninth, Washington Wild Things calling Stanley out for a second inning of work. Wild Things have one more at bat to score 2 runs, or they lose the series and potentially eliminate themselves entirely from any type of postseason hopes. Colin Stanley settles in, facing Kyle Wood. First pitch fastball, strike 1. Stanley comes set. Ball high. Evens count 1-1. Action in Windy City's bullpen. It's going to be the closer again, Brian Lokensall, who's thrown in the first 2 games of the series. Stanley's fastball is fouled straight back. Lokensall has been pretty lights out in the first 2 outings. It's unfortunate that the Wild Things unable to get to starter Clay Chapman in any of the first 8 innings. It's going to come down to Lokensall. Slider in the dirt. Brings the count 2-2. Stanley shakes. Shakes again. Has his pitch. Delivered to Wood. There's a slider. Inner corner. Strikes him out. Ball goes around the diamond for out number 1. Going to bring up the shortstop, Ranson Lalonde. Righty on righty. Lalonde checks on the slider. No appeal. It's going to be ball 1. One 0 count. Pitch on the way. And the fastball's fouled and chopped to the third base line. Evens the count 1-1. 1 out. Stanley set to deliver. Fastball strike. 88 on the gun for Stanley. Comes set to deliver. There's a slider pull to Rodriguez at third. Cost the diamond. Yezzo's able to dig that ball out. Number 2. Two up, 2 down against Stanley. Rodriguez uses the turf to his advantage on that throw. 1 hops it over to Yezzo. Able to handle that 1 hop pretty cleanly. Not an in-between hop, not a short hop. He's just allowed it to bounce right up to his chest. Pitch on the way. Slider strike 1 to Johnny Ironman, center fielder. Stanley shakes. Comes set. Fastball high. Stanley pauses. Not believing that ball was called a ball. Evens the count at 1s. Johnny Ironman had the only Wild Thing hit of the ball game thus far, land over his head. Slider in there. Strike 2. Ironman froze on the Grand Fink hard line drive that went over his head for a double. Stanley slider. Grounded over the Fink. Shuffles his feet. We got a 4-3. Ground ball for out number 3. Here we go. Top of the 9th. We're going to have Brian Lokensall entering the ball game. Wild Things. 2 runs needed. We're going to pause and let this inning play out. we're back to action here. Crestwood, Illinois. Last gasp potentially for your Wild Things. Top of the 9th inning. Closer Brian Lokensall entering the ball game. Lokensall's made quick work of the Wild Things the past 2 nights, not allowing a base runner to my recollection. Another change called over the PA for Windy City. Entering the ball game playing left field will be John Williams to replace Coco Johnson. Wild Things 2-3-4. Seeing if they have any magic up their sleeves. Chris Grayson, Ricky Rodriguez, David Popkins. Going to face the right-hander from the Los Angeles Angels system. Lokensall flashed some good velocity last night on the gun, 92, 93. One pitch said 96 to strike out Popkins. Grayson settles in with no outs. 89 on the gun. Strike 1 to Grayson. Ball chopped. 4-hole turn. Great play by Zier to eliminate a base run threat. Gets the ball in the 4-hole, spins glove side, short hop, scoop by Bockwell to retire Grayson for out number 1. It's been that type of night, that type of series for the Wild Things here in Windy City. You just can't get a break. Can't get a ball to find a hole. Can't get a ball to drop in. Ricky Rodriguez gets a fastball up and in, almost wears it off the forearm. Just unfortunate the Wild Things can't get that break with the standings being what they are and potential playoff hopes of at least making it interesting. Ball's driven. Left field line foul. It's been an interesting game. Wild Things stuck with 1 base hit so far. Rodriguez versus Lokensall. 1-1. Off the glove. Zier able to field it. 1-4-3. The bad luck continues for the Wild Things. All you can really do is laugh at this point. Ball rolls 2 more feet to the right of where hitting Lokensall's glove. It's going to be a base hit. Brings up Popkins versus Lokensall. 2 outs. Wild Things down to the last out. Popkins absolutely kills it. That is a no-doubter. There's your first run, and questions how the situation played out this inning. Chris Grayson chops one. Zier makes a lights-out play to rob Grayson. Ricky Rodriguez hits a ball hard back to Lokensall's glove. Rolls off his glove. Zier's able to field it. And Popkins blows one out of the stadium. Only allowing the solo shot instead of a 2 or 3 run home run. Setting up Jimmy Yezzo here. Yezzo outside, ball 1. Leaves you the question, what if? What if from yesterday's ball game? What if from this ball game thus far? Yezzo's swing and a miss. Evens the count 1-1. Popkins adds the second hit of the ball game for your Wild Things, in addition to the Grant Fink double in the 8th. Chopper back to the mound. Flipped over. 1-3. Ball game's over. Wild Things know what today was and what this series meant. Took game one, unable to take game 2 or 3. Season's likely over in terms of any type of playoff hopes. Wild Things drop another game below 500. Best the Wild Things can do is sweep Lake Erie and finish one game over. Wild Things hitters fail to muster any consistent threat. Just a frustrating night, frustrating series after where things started. We're going to pack up, head out to Lake Erie. Thanks for joining us tonight. Feel free to join us for the next 3 ball games of Wild Things Baseball 2016.
MSA Sport. Press 1 to resume or 3 to end broadcast. Your broadcast has been ended.